Okay, welcome everybody. It's so fun to have you all here, and I've just seen a lot of you at our Ohana retreat in St. George, and today we're going to be doing takeaways from the Ohana retreat for those people who couldn't come, and for those of you who were able to be there. It's nice to just jog our memory. Like, I think we leave and a lot of it we forget, but then when we come back and share, we remember in a different way. And I love getting other people's perspectives on what they took away from different trainings. Before we get started though, I would just want to make a couple of announcements. Tonight is our Love Yourself to Health webinar. It's going to be awesome. We do these just like every so often, and they're really, really fun to invite non-clients to. They're fun to invite clients to. We made an announcement on the client page. You can reach out to any of your clients. This is a really good way to check in with them this week and a really good follow-up for this week. So if you guys want something to talk about on your client check-in, this is a great one. Send this out to all your clients and send this out to potentials. Let's see, it's going to be 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 Pacific, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and the link is posted. We're going to post this back in our message thread. I posted it on my personal thread today, and we'll post that link in our message thread. So also a month from now, save the date, March 14th. If you're in Utah, we have an event coming up in Davis County, and that's going to be one of our big mindset events. So that's also going to be like a day-long event where we're going to have a lot of people coming in from our team to help us. And I know a lot of you were like, I really wanted to come, but I didn't hear about this. So put that in your calendar right now and do even a save the date for your coaches and your potentials. Maybe people you know in your life that are healthy and they're passionate about health. Maybe they teach fitness classes or they're life coaches. Get them there. So the announcement for that and the event, the Facebook event for that is going to be also posted to the thread right after this meeting. So if you guys want to Facebook event, that'll be there. So right off the bat, I'm just going to open this up for takeaways, and let's get talking and sharing what impacted you at the retreat this weekend and what were some of the top takeaways. And just go ahead and take yourself off mute and start talking. If I have two at a time, I'll kind of call on one of you at a time.
Yeah.
I'll share something.
Okay, we'll start with Kip and then we'll move on.
Okay, so I think for me the biggest takeaway is I'm probably missing with my clients how valuable the mindset portion of this is. So many people are caught into the weight loss part of it. So many people are stuck on what's on the scale each week, and we're constantly urging, get in the life book, but I'm not sure we're getting them to truly grasp how crucial the mindset portion of this really is.
Love it, Kip. I think that's a process, and sometimes people are teachable, so I think as a coach, you recognize when someone has a moment when they're struggling. It's always fun to be like, have you thought about working in the life book and opening that up? And so I hope all the coaches got a good peek into that, and now they know what's there. So thank you, Kip. Who else had just taken themselves off?
That would be me, Steph.
Awesome, Karen.
So I loved it all, so thank you. But I think that one spot for me, and I actually used today, was when you and Jen did the onion and peeled away and just didn't go, oh, you want to lose weight? Okay, so now, and I'd move on, or I just want more energy, and then I'd move on. And it was like, I started counting and actually writing down until we got to the real reason what their health to be and their life to look like. And so thank you. I loved it.
You are so welcome. Jenny, do you want to just do a real quick hit on that, how that worked and what it was for people who weren't there?
Sure. So what we talked about there was, we call it 7 layers deep. And this is a great way to really get to the root of the real reason why people want to get healthy, what they want to create in their life. Because a lot of times when we ask that initial question, what is it that you want to create, or why are you on this journey? a lot of times it's kind of a surface answer in the beginning. That's very common. Oh, if I could just lose 20 pounds, that would change everything. Well, so what we do is we kind of repeat back what they state and then ask a deeper question. And so we kind of did this with everyone. We went into pairs. So for instance, if they said, I want to lose 20 pounds, then you can ask them back, well, why would you like to lose 20 pounds? And they say, well, because I would love to fit in my skinny jeans. Well, why do you want to fit into your skinny jeans? Well, because I want to look good at my 20-year reunion. Well, why do you want to look good at your 20-year reunion? Because I want everybody to think that I'm amazing. I don't know, so at this point, there's still kind of surface answers. But what we found is as we went 7 layers deep, usually it ended up hitting the heart. And the real reason that they wanted to get healthy wasn't because they wanted to lose 20 pounds or fit into their skinny jeans, was so that they could create the life that they wanted to be, to become that best version of themselves, to show up better for the people around them, to live their best life, to be able to be that mom or that dad to their kids. It just ends up being, when you go that deep, it always hits the heart. And when we start a journey from that deep reason that's in our heart, they're going to be a lot more successful than just that surface reason, because that's really not the reason why someone, there's a lot more to it, because we know as we go on a health journey, what our outside is a reflection of our inside. So we have to go inside and find out what's going on for it to actually be something long-term. And that will show up on our outside. So that's kind of what we talked about. So it was a powerful way for us to, or is a powerful way for us to be able to help our clients find their way.
Jenny, thank you so much. That was perfect. So guys, if you need something to talk to your clients about, that's a really, really fun one. Grab one of their goals and then go 7 layers deep with it. Michelle, did you have a comment about that, or did you want to do a takeaway?
There we go.
Perfect.
I just wanted to add to that, because I think the exercise that we did for us to get to our 7 layers deep was really helpful for me, because it's not easy to answer those questions. And I think we need to understand that it's not going to be easy for our clients either. We need to allow them time to think about their questions and not put words in their mouth or anything. Just give it a minute and because it was hard for me to even do it that night. So be aware that that's not an easy process for any of us to do.
I agree. And I love that you mentioned, sometimes when you ask a question, it takes a minute. So don't be afraid to let there be a minute of silence. If you ask them, why do you, maybe you're 4 layers deep and you ask them a why about that 4th layer and they just sit there, don't feel that, could it be this? Wait for them to come up with that, because it takes a minute to really get to the heart of why we want what we want. It's really powerful. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Who else would like to share with us today?
Steph, I'll go.
Perfect. Thank you.
So my wife and I, we've been part of Optavia now for almost a full year. And we go to events, sometimes monthly, sometimes bi-weekly. So we've really made an effort to show up at events. And we had a lot of great takeaways, but the one thing that I really loved was just feeling the community. And this is one of the first times I felt so deeply that I belonged to a community, that I belonged to a family. And while I can still go and listen to webinars, I can do podcasts, these chats are amazing, but being in person and talking and just feeling the love and to get a hug from Dave Frampton, or just to sit on the couch with Kip and he's just swapping recipes with me. This is stuff that I felt part of a community. I felt that love and that connection. And I'll always be able to, read up on my notes and to get the personal training, but that connection is the true beauty that I pulled from it.
Oh gosh, Chris, thank you so much for mentioning that. There is something about being in person. I have a good friend that came and she was like, I'm already forgetting everything. What should I do? And I said, it's not so much sometimes what we learn, but what we feel. And we can only feel it by being there. And that's why it's so special to be there. But it is fun to share takeaways. And it is fun to actually be there. So thank you for sharing that. Let's see, I'm gonna check in the chat. I know, Krista, I love our Ohana. Okay, who else has a takeaway to share? Michelle?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to have a lot to say today, I am afraid.
I love it.
I that was the first time I was able to share my story in front of a lot of people. And again, it helped me hone in what my story is. And it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. And so to be vulnerable and put yourself out there and practice your story, like grab your husband or grab your girlfriend or something and just practice your story, because I think as we practice it, it's also easier to get better at it. And then when you're in a health assessment, you can pick out the pieces that might benefit them, or because our stories are long and huge and lifelong, right? So you got to pick out the pieces maybe that will benefit that client or that potential client in the health assessment. That's all.
I love it. And our stories can be so long. I love what Shane Oak said. I love how you said pick up the pieces that'll match and they'll be able to relate to. And I love how Shane said it's not about us. So practice making your story short and concise and just matching up what they need to hear, because we are wanting to spend the majority of time talking about this other person, right? That's where a lot of the magic happens. And so it does take a lot of practice to get your story really concise. Thank you, Michelle.
I'll say something.
Thank you, Andrea.
I was so grateful. Well, first scared to do the little, groups and present to them. But I grew so much. I learned so much. And I'm so, so grateful for that opportunity. Also, I feel like sometimes we put up this front, right? And the space that our Ohana creates for us to just be vulnerable and to show up as our real selves, like even the wounded parts of us, to me, that's a gift. And for people to see me, I'm just so, so grateful for that gift. And we have that. People see us, see the real us, and we can just be ourselves. Like I saw so many people just opening up and just really being raw and vulnerable. I got to meet a little bit, like I know a lot of you guys, but then when you share little Haley Trujillo, like she changed for me, because I had this perception of her, and then she shared something so vulnerable and deep, and I was like, I love this new side, right? And so that connected me to so many more people, just to see people for who they really are.
Oh my gosh, I know. And it when people get up and they share from their hearts, we really get an opportunity to truly know them, and then to know someone is to love them. So thank you so much. And I loved hearing from new leaders that are emerging in our Ohana. It was so fun to be taught by so many amazing leaders. Does anybody else have a share? Oh, Julianne, can you take yourself off of mute? Let me see. Can you tap and take yourself off of mute? There you go.
There we go. Sorry, I'm driving. So can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. What I love is when we start sharing our stories, we realize how similar we all are. And even though we have different struggles, we all go through similar things.
Yeah.
And then we can relate to each other so much better. Like as Hugh and I, when we were driving, it was like we realized how much we are alike and how much some of the struggles we have are similar. And so it helps to be able to open up and know you're not alone. in the struggles you go through. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Julianne. We actually partnered up with people we didn't know. I made everyone find someone that they had never met. And I partnered up with a new coach that I had personally never met. And when it got down to the core, we had the exact same why. It was so fun. And we just felt totally bonded after that. And not everyone's whys are the same. So it was a really special moment. Next, let's have somebody else share something.
How do you, can you hear me?
Yes, but I can't see you. Who's
How do I,
No.
I've never
No.
shared, so
Hey,
I'm not
there
sure.
you are. Okay.
Am I here?
You're
Can you
here.
see me? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm really lucky because Haley's like my best friend from high school. And so she is my coach and my mentor. And I got to drive all the way there and back with her. And she just teaches me so much, you know, and I'm just so lucky. So my takeaway, I'm sorry, I'm not sure why I'm crying. Maybe because I'm nervous, I don't know. Anyway, so I love the ending part when the because I said yes part, and how everyone, it was just like a testimony meeting. And I actually wrote down what I would say, and I never did get up and share, but that part just was really hit home, you know, just to hear so many transformations and change in people's lives. And because I said yes, I have reached out to 7 people in my neighborhood, and people that were depressed and just were ready to give up in life. And just watching them transform and change, it's just so awesome. And just to be a part of that is really rewarding. And I was kind of like, when Haley shared her story about just being kind of shy, and she told me that she was scared to death to like grow in the company because she didn't want to have to lead or like be in front of people. And just to see her where she is now is like fascinating. And I just like, it gives you like hope, you know, like I can get there because I'm exactly right there, you know, where she was. So anyway, I met so many cool people. It was so fun. So thanks for doing that for us. And that's all.
Thank you, Jill. I love that Haley's your coach and that you feel her heart so strong because like I shared, I got to know Haley from the beginning and she has changed so much. She's always had a really tender heart, but I have just seen her like constantly put herself in a place of discomfort in order to grow. And I think a lot of people do see Haley as like this fearless person, and she's done so much work to get there, and she has such a tender heart. I just love her so much. So I'm so glad you shared that about her.
I'd like to say something if that's okay.
Lori, yes, please.
Before I left to go to a retreat, I had a prayer in my heart and a prayer to God that, and I haven't done my makeup yet today, so this is the real me. That I would get the answer for a huge problem that I've been having. And it was Austin who gave me that breakthrough. And then when Melissa shared her story, it brought to me the answers that I was praying for and needing. And I don't know if you guys know, but the gal that I brought with me, Garlene, she wasn't a client yet. And I had met her when we went to the Bison event and we stayed in her Airbnb. She lost her husband a few years ago, and 3.5 weeks ago, she lost her son. And that leaves her one son. And she's feeling really lonely. She doesn't have any family to retreat. And she gained all of us as family, and she signed up, and she's now doing the program, and she's got 3 people that she wants to go talk to and be a coach. And I just want to tell you all, thank you for being my family and for sharing. And I'm a frog. It's just part of the territory. And just tell you all how much I love you, and for allowing Garlene to come into your hearts because you came into hers. So thank you.
Lori, that was beautiful. You guys Lori, you have such a big heart, and I love that you were inspired to bring her. We all need more family. It doesn't matter how big our family is, we all need more. Some of us have really small families and we need a big family. So I felt that in my heart. I just this popped into my brain. You are someone's right answer, all of you. And I love that Melissa was your answer. She was your right answer at the retreat. So in every single one of you, there's something about you or your story that someone can connect with, and it's not my story that they want to hear or need to hear, it's yours. So I want you guys all to write that down somewhere today. I am someone's right answer. That is so, so, so important to me that you guys all know that and feel that, because it's absolutely true.
I'd like to go, Steph.
Please, Melissa, please.
Oh, wow. So for those who were not there, the theme of the event was the heart of Ohana. And last year, going to my first event without my husband, really scared by myself, compared to this event, you could see how much everyone has known how deeper we've needed each other. It's not about how to do the 5-in-1. It's not about how to ask the right questions to awaken somebody so you can get to, why do they want to lose weight? Those are all important things, but what is most important overall is connection and being raw and real. And I have never seen Ohana in any event, any retreat, so vulnerable. And I could not believe how everyone was so inspired that we need to lead from our hearts and not our heads. Mm-hmm. And of course, everyone brought a giant piece of their hearts with them, and we all connected those pieces, and it brought an amazing spirit and awakening for all of us. So I just know that it's really important for us to get into our hearts and not lead from our heads. It's okay to have the mechanics of coaching and with the 5-in-1 as clients, but it's that heart that we all need to be leading from first and foremost.
Melissa, yes. And even how we appear on social media, I think sometimes we try so hard to appear professional, and it is important to be professionals, but are we sharing our hearts? Are we sharing our true hearts? Because that's how people will connect and relate to us. And it's hard, it's a process, but you feel it. You always feel when people are sharing from the heart. So thank you for bringing that up. There's share.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is this Cami?
Yes.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, hi. I didn't know if I could hear. I just wanted to mention a couple of things. I went down with Haley. I knew Haley, and then I knew Sharice. But other than that, I knew no one. And I walked in that door, and I had people like hugging me, like you, Steph, and like immediately. And I felt like a part of a family, like instantly. And I felt so grateful for that, because you go in with just a little bit of fear and a little bit of just not knowing what's going to happen, just not knowing. And I walked in and just felt loved immediately. And I've done like personal training, and I've done a whole bunch of different things with doing some things with my own business. And I walked in, and I had felt alone in that a little bit in trying to keep things going or whatever. And when I came in this group, like immediately was just loved. And it makes it feel like on the coaching side of things, like you have a support system. And then the clients that we have too, like the people that we work with, they have a support system too. And it's just this cool community that comes together, and everybody's there for each other. And I know I asked like so many questions. I came home, I told my husband, I'm like, I think I probably asked about 400 questions between all of you, but I had 400 answers. Like I had 400 people to say, to say like like to help me with my questions. And it was brilliant. Like it was so beautiful. And I felt just so grateful. I felt like people truly, truly cared, like truly to their heart. It wasn't just like, okay, answer the girl's question, what else? Like it was so sincere and so real. And then hearing like people's successes and how they did what they did to get to where they are. Like I wanted to know, like some of you, I held way too long. 3 o'clock in the morning, I was asking questions. I'm like, okay, what else you got? Like I just needed to know. And Haley was amazing. And we literally talked from the second we got in the car until the second we got home 6 hours later. You can ask her, like I asked, I'm like, hey, one more. I got one more for you. And it was just amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you so much for like immediately feeling like a family. I feel like I have best friends like that. And because I could feel your hearts. And it took a second. And that's like, you don't see that every day. You just don't. Like that is so unique and so awesome. And like I was saying, like, I can't wait to see you all again. Like, so today I'm like, okay, it's almost noon. Like it's cool. Cause when you connect, you just want to be together, and you want to learn from each other, and you just want to know, like, what is the next thing you're going to say? Because I feel like I'm being taught, like being fed, and in every way, fed, like emotionally, like fed, like intellectually, and it's beautiful. So I just want to say thank you, and say like, I appreciate so much being welcomed in immediately. So thank you.
Cami, it was so great to meet you. And I think it takes a lot of bravery to come to an event, like an overnight event when you're brand new. And so, but I never hesitate to invite people because I know our family, I know our Ohana, and I know their hearts, and I know they're going to welcome people. And one of my favorite takeaways I'm just going to share was that you shared your daughter's story. My daughter did the plan when she was 14, and it totally changed her life. And so
Yeah.
that touched my heart when you shared about your daughter. I just felt that immediately in my heart. So anyway, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciated it.
Of course. No, thank you. And all of you guys sharing your stories with me. That's how I'm able to like feel that vulnerability to share Kyla's story, because I've protected it so much. I've been like, this is her deal. Like I have to be careful with it because I was afraid like of what people would do with it. She's my daughter. And so I'm like, the mom, like, okay, but because it's been such a hard thing for her for so many years. But I got up there, and you guys cheered me on. You guys were like clapping, not me, Kyla, right? Like this is Kyla. And I wish so bad Kyla was there. I went home, I came home and I told her all about it. And she was so like, she was touched. I shared with her the reaction that you guys had, that you guys gave her in cheering her on. And she all of a sudden too, she's like, that is so cool, Mom. Can I come to the next one? She had stuff going on with school and with friends and stuff this weekend. So I get that that's where her priorities were, but she wants to be a part of it too. And I'm going to be sharing her story today on Facebook and stuff, which is also a leap of faith for me. Like it's scary for me today. I will be totally straight, but I know that it will touch other people's hearts, just like her stories touched mine, and how you guys' stories have touched mine. So
thank you. And you guys, I love that, especially when our kids share and the youth share, and Brinlyn sharing her story, which was so brave, has inspired so many kids to get healthy it's amazing. So anyway, thanks to all of you. We maybe have time for one more takeaway. Does anybody else have something in their heart they have to share?
I just have something really quick. It's more like a public service announcement.
Okay.
But Garlene used to have an Airbnb in Las Vegas, and the HOA had to come to her and say, "You're a good Airbnb person, but because of this other person, you're not." But Garlene wanted me just to let everybody know that if you're ever in Las Vegas, she wants you to come and stay with her in her home. And so if you're traveling through Las Vegas, Garlene has opened her home to all of us. I usually pay $35 a night when I stay with her, just because she's a single mom, well, a single person. And so, so she's opened her heart and her home to all of us. So
that is amazing. Thank you, Lori. We'll keep that in mind, and I'm sure people can send you a message if they are interested in hooking up with her. So anyway, we appreciate you so much. I just want to say thank you to Bonnie, Haley, and Jenny. Together, it took all four of us to figure out that, like, all the trainers, and we just really, we really felt guided in who needed to speak at this retreat. And the trainers who ended up speaking and who presented, you guys were so amazing, and you guys are what made this possible. Everyone who led a group, everyone who did a training, you guys are vital to really bringing our hearts out to everybody else. And we did a lot of transactional stuff, but we did a lot of transformational stuff. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who participated, and then of course to everyone who came and who made this event possible. It took all of you sharing your hearts to make it so, so special. So this was our third. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't want to I just wanted to say something. So go ahead and finish.
I was just going to say, this is our third annual retreat, and we can't wait till next year. Next February, we will for sure do another one. Please, Haley.
I just wanted to share, and of course, thank you guys for being there, and just thank you for being a team and sharing your heart and coming in willingly, opening your arms, whether you are here or not. We come together on these webinars and we fill each other's buckets every week. And I just want you to feel like, as a team, whether you were in Utah or not, whether you were at the retreat or not, of course we want everyone to be present together when we can, but just know, like, I just envision this army behind me. I really do. And it makes me just feel like, you know what, today I can go out and I can stand a little taller. And so do that, stand a little taller today, show up in your life a little bit bolder, more confidence, and be able to just share your heart with others, and just picture that army of people behind you who love you and are cheering you on in your life, in all aspects. So just wanted to share that.
Oh my gosh, you guys see why I love Haley so much.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. The
heart. Please, Jenny, finish us out.
No, I've been wanting to share, but I wanted to hear from everyone else too. So, when I came home, Troy, the first thing he asked me, of course, is how did it go? And he wanted to know all about it. And Troy's so awesome. He loves talking about it. He loves our community so much. And the first thing that, I said was, just the fact that we have such an amazing community, and what you leave feeling is just incredible. And it's really, truly such a gift to be able to get together and to fill each other's hearts. And I am just so grateful for each and every person, and for what they brought, and for how we uplift each other and help each other. And I love what Austin said. He said, we should define ourselves by the rise, not the fall. And I feel like we're all rising together. I have noticed the biggest changes in everyone over this past year. And like Steph said, where we started 3 years ago and there was just a few of us at her cabin, and how it has grown and how we're all rising together. It's just an amazing feeling. And I just feel like the synergy that we have and this gift that we have is so much bigger than I could have ever imagined. So I'm just so grateful for that. I just wanted to share that. So I love you all.
Thank you, Jenny. On the way home, I got to talk to my friend Diana, who was our amazing trainer in the morning, if you did the morning workout. And I said something to her in a Marco Polo. I just said, you know, the way that I learn is from everyone's stories. So when everyone shares their stories, it puts a piece of the puzzle into my life, just something I needed to learn. And it's just like that. That's how we all rise, is by all sharing. And you guys are all part of that puzzle, whether you were at this retreat or not. Every time we meet like this in a Zoom room, I learned something when you guys are able to share part of the, it's like part of the, one of the answers, and you're somebody's right answer, but it's a lot of it, it just ends up filling my bucket. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate all of you for taking the time to be here today. Thanks for sharing your takeaways and for being part of our Ohana. We love you. Take care, everybody.